What is up, everyone, and welcome to the most magical show in the keyboard community. I'm your host, Merlin, and hopefully the title of my stream is correct tonight. I noticed on Sunday night, I actually still had it as the Idobao ID80 build stream, when it was in fact the Magic Keyboard Group Buy stream. So yeah, hopefully that is all correct tonight. It looks correct, so hopefully that's right. Anyway, let's see. Let's get some music started and talk about the most important question tonight. What is Merlin drinking? Here we go. If you guys were watching on Sunday, I'm drinking the exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but from the exact same box. This guy right here, an Arnold Palmer Spiked. Saw this at the grocery store back on July 4th. And yeah, had a 6-pack of them. Figured I'd drink a few of them tonight. Well, maybe not a few of them, maybe just 2 of them. Let's see, who is here tonight? I see a Zujo, I see a Zark, a Kangpa84, thank your lucky stars, Bendit, Smudge. Thanks guys, thanks for all joining in. Let's see. Let's have a set of these. Thank your lucky star says no, do a few. We'll see. It depends on how the night goes. Depends on how much I can get through this, you know. Not bad. This is the first iced tea that I've seen that actually has 21 plus on the can. Smudge says, I see you're using the ID80. Yes, I am. This is the board that I built this past Saturday. $120 board, and functions and sounds like a $120 board. But what I really like about it is its layout. This is probably my favorite layout on a 75% board. But yeah, right now it's running GMK Hamon. And after staring at this for like a good 3 days, I figured, you know, it's time I get my red board into VIA. And by red board, I'm talking about the whole title of the stream, the Percent Studios Skog Lite. Let's see, Smudge says, how are you finding it? I like it, it's not bad. Here we go. Actually, before I unbox it, let's actually talk a little bit about this board. Let's go bring it up over here. Here we go. Here we go. So the Skog Lite is a Percent Studios board. It was on group buy on Kono store for about 250 bucks. You could buy it in red, you could buy it in blue, white, gray, black, or green. Here are some photos of it. And the unique thing about this board is that there's no plate at all. This is a plateless build. I think it is the only TKL that I know of that is plateless, which is why it's also 250 bucks. The PCB itself is a bootmapper client board at Mega 32A. So yeah, why do I have this board? Why did I even buy it? I did not buy it, actually. This was my prize for the Top Clack 3rd anniversary song contest. This was the grand prize. It's funny, I feel like maybe because I'm a QMK collaborator, I keep winning boards that are not in QMK. So yeah, check it out. This is the Percent Studios Skog Lite. There we go. You know, the kit comes with screws, a sticker, feet, a PCB, surprise, surprise. This is what we'll be working on. And this is the board. You can see it's red and black. Perfect for GMK Metaverse. I'd say it would look good on like Honeywell as well. So here we go. This is it. Look at that. I suppose I could put GMK Hamon on it too afterwards. Crinkle More says Bendit. Oh yeah, this is like an ASMR stream. Here, let's pause the music really quick. Okay, let's not do that anymore. Let's not do that anymore. But alright, yeah, this is it. This is it. As you can see, it's all pretty much just PCB mount. Now swallow a keycap hole. ASMR from hell. Yeah, if you guys can see. There we go. That is for a USB mini B hole. Let's see, Derek Fung has subscribed. Thank you so much. Alright. Yeah, so what's the story with this? Like, Merlin, you won this last year. How come you have still not built it? The story goes is that I ported it into QMK, and in the middle of the entire port process, I discovered that, here we go. Let me pull this apart. I discovered, unfortunately, that this column, the one with the backspace and the enter, every time you pressed it, it would also trigger the left arrow column. I tried cleaning the PCB, reflowing a few diodes and all that, but I believe the issue is an internal trace issue. So there's really nothing I can do about this at this point. If you guys read my Reddit post, I did say that I was hoping VIA would fix this. No, that is just wishful thinking on my part, but you know, one can hope. One can hope that this will actually work. So we shall see. We shall see what happens tonight. Check it out, guys. If you guys have never seen a Percent Studios board before, or have never heard of Percent Studios, they are most well known for the Canoe. Let's see, what else are they known for? Let's actually look at their Discord. They actually have a regular Skog that's not like this. See, what are people asking me to do here? Swallow a right shift, you coward. Swallow and ISO enter. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is it. So for all intents and purposes, this is a brick board. This is a paperweight. Iwane subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, man. Looks like you've subscribed for 3 months. Great. Along with Sayurio has subscribed too. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. So, let's put this PCB away really quick. Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, this is a brick board. Just because imagine pressing like enter or like backspace and triggering a left key or like something else on that rightmost. What in the world is happening? Oh my gosh. I won a gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Woo! Gift shared rewards to 25 others in chat. Congratulations to Zujo, to Zark, to Thank You Lucky Stars, Raditz, and Mr. McGurk. Congratulations, guys, and once again, thank you so much to Iwane. Woo! Thank you, guys. Nebulan says thanks. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. I'm thinking, you know, just to stick with the red color theme, I should probably look for regular Cherry MX Reds and still attempt to build the board. Because I could still bring it to like a meetup and be like, hey guys, have you ever tried a TKL without a plate, all just PCB mounted? And people could still type on the board. It could be my show board, essentially. But yeah, I think red GMK Hamon would actually look pretty good. Right? Dean Wan has subscribed. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, well here, like, when I first got it, I was actually considering doing this as a giveaway, but I'm like, that would suck for whoever got this, because they wouldn't be able to build it at all. I'm like, oh well, I guess it will just sit here in its packaging. But there are plenty of people who do have this board and could use VIA, so that is what we will be doing tonight. let's put away the rest of this. All the stuff that I don't quite need for tonight's show. I know. Audience, question for you all. Since this board doesn't really work, and it's a custom PCB, like you can't even get like a Heine PCB for it, what should I do with this? like I reached out to both Percent and Kono, and neither of them could really help me. Thank you, Lucky Star says, eat it, obviously. All right. Any other suggestions? All right, let's talk about this PCB really quick. As I mentioned earlier, USB Mini B, pretty much the norm for all bootmapper client-based boards. It uses an Atmega32U4 microcontroller over there. It's got in-switch LEDs, and what I found strange was that it's got RGB underglow, but on top, and there's only 2 of them. Other than that, looks like there's a lot of compatibility support. You got 7U, 6.25U, 6.25U stepped, and all that. But yeah, it's a cheap board. Very cheap board. T-Smudge says GMK Classic Red might brighten it up. I think so. Let's see, how much is GMK Classic Red? Thought I saw it still on Oko. Originative. Let's see. Let me just look real briefly here. Yeah. Thought I saw it on Originative. But I guess like the newest one is from, let's see. Who's the newest one from? I think it is from TX Keyboards. There we go. That's it. That's what I was thinking about. You guys were curious, check out TX Keyboards for GMK Classic Red. Alright guys, let's get started. So the whole purpose of these Tuesday streams is to get a board, whatever board that I have in front of me, into either QMK and VIA or just into VIA. This board has already been converted from Bootmapper Client to QMK. So if you were to go to config.qmk, here, let's do this. If you were to go to config.qmk, you can program this board however way you like, just using QMK. However, one of the benefits of Bootmapper Client is that you can change key maps at will whenever you want, which you kind of lose if you go the QMK firmware route. But with VIA, you can get all of that back. I personally think that VIA is more than an adequate replacement for Bootmapper Client. So if we can get all Bootmapper Client boards into VIA, we can actually kiss Bootmapper Client goodbye. Assuming no one doesn't make any more. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's figure out where we're starting. Let's start with code, actually. In order to get a board into VIA, number one, it needs to actually be supported by QMK, and in addition to that, the microcontroller on the board needs to have an EEPROM. Like, sure, you could emulate one, but it's just so much easier if the microcontroller itself has a built-in EEPROM. Why and EEPROM? It's because QMK Firmware normally stores its key maps on the flash, which is one reason why every time you want to change your key map, you need to flash your board, because you're flashing the firmware and the key map onto its flash. With VIA, you basically just flash the firmware, and the key map is on the EEPROM. So with that being said, you can actually change the key maps whenever you want via the app just reads and writes from that EEPROM. And Zark just pointed to himself, EEPROM guy. Yeah, Zark has done a lot of EEPROM work for QMK. All right, so let's get some code up here. Here we go. This is a good place to start. Here we go. There we go. So just as a quick explanation, to get VIA support on your board, you need to work in two separate repositories. You need to work in QMK Firmware, which is run by Zark, myself, and quite a few other QMK collaborators. And you also need to work in the VIA keyboards repo, which is run by Olivia, Wilba, and a few other people. So two separate repositories. We are going to start with the QMK Firmware portion, which occurs in the QMK Firmware repository. So what I have opened up here is the Skog Lite source file over here. If you've never seen this before, watch my other tutorials. But let's see. The most important thing to do here is basically just create another key map. So the way I like to do this is take the default key map and basically just copy and paste it. So what you're gonna get is default copy. Just rename it as VIA. And you're almost done. You are almost done. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, we are gonna cheat a little bit here before I explain a few things. Just because I don't want to keep writing the same thing over and over again. So we are just gonna cheat a little bit. All right, we're good. All right, so the first thing to do in QMK Firmware if you want to support VIA is you need to make sure that your key map, the one in your VIA directory, has up to 4 layers, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Since we copied from default, we only have 1 layer right now. We need to make several more of these. And as I was saying earlier, I'm just gonna cheat a little bit and copy from a pre-existing TKL file, the TGR Jane. There we go. So now we've got 3. Perfect. But I did say 4, right? So we are gonna add another one right there. So you may notice that my layers 1, 2, and 3 are all just populated with KC trans. Even if you can't think of like a valid key map, you want to make sure that this is populated somehow. Otherwise, if you just leave it empty, like if you delete all of it, and oops, that's not what I wanted. If you delete all of it and you load this up into VIA, what's going to happen is VIA will look at this and be like, oh, you have 1 layer and everything else is going to be garbage. So rather than seeing garbage, you actually want to at least make everything transparent. So here we go. Let's uncomment that back. All right, so you are almost done on this side. The next thing you want to do is create another file also within the VIA directory called rules.mk. This is where all the magic happens, actually. This is absolutely where all the magic happens. See, Singapore says sup. Javon says what's up. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in. Right. So, for most QMK powered boards, all you really have to do is enable VIA by typing in VIA _enable = yes, which, wild guess here, it enables VIA. And the second thing is, it's not mandatory but recommended, LTO enable = yes. LTO stands for link time optimization, and this makes the firmware as small as possible so it uses as less space as possible. Javon says, you drinking tonight? Of course. What Tuesday night am I not drinking? I'm drinking Arnold Palmer Spiked. A little bit lighter today. Let's see. What's the alcohol content? But it's like 2% because I can barely taste it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it at all, man. Oh, wait. 5% alcohol. Nothing too extreme. But here we go. For most QMK powered boards, this will be enough. This will be all you need to do. However, this is a formerly bootmapper client board. So you need to do two more things. The first one is mouse key enable = no. Yeah, unfortunately, mouse keys are still not supported on VIA. Followed by extra key enable = no. All other QMK powered boards will work without these lines on like line 4 and 5, but this is specifically for bootmapper client boards at Mega 32A. And you should be good. You should be good with this. So let's actually test out our code. Test out our code. Make % Skog Lite VIA. If all was done correctly, we should get a nice firmware file. Oh, what happened here? Javon says, so most QMK boards you can get to work in VIA. Exactly. V USB main. Fatal error. No such file or directory. What's going on here? This is a new error. Okay, just to make sure it's not something I'm doing, we are going to compile another board. The TGR Jane. Because I know that works. Oh, look here. USB drv.h, no such file. Looks like we have a bug in QMK. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Here, let's see if this bug has been reported yet, because I'm not aware of this. Let's see. Alright, has this bug been reported yet? Because if not, we're kinda screwed for the evening. Let's see, what was the error? The error was fatal error. USB drv.h. Let's see if that's been reported. Ah, okay. So there are some stuff that's been merged in April 28th, May 21st. Look, he did touch some of this. Currently, there is no way to override options within USB config, which is fine. Totally, you need to use different pins. Let's see, what was the resolution here? Updated with proposed longer term changes. Okay. Zark, do you know anything about this bug? Let's see. Hun HCPT says, I see I've joined the stream where Merlin is pouring through the ancient text to draw out his magic. Yeah, it looks like we have a bug with QMK, and it might be related to something that one of our other fellow QMK collaborators did all the way on April 1st, or possibly this one right here, the one on May 21st. Either or. Interesting. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I will just talk about what needs to be done, but not necessarily what needs fixing in this bug, because I don't quite know. Haven't looked through it enough. But okay. So typically speaking, if you did all of these correctly, these 4 lines, creating 4 layers, and you hit compile, it should generate a hex file for you, which you can then flash onto this guy right here. You know? There will be a few gotchas. The Atmega32A doesn't have as large an EEPROM, so you have to be very careful. There have been some cases in which defining 4 layers, 0, 1, 2, 3, have led to not having any EEPROM at all. So the solution to that, which I will actually implement right now because I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, is to delete that 3rd layer, or that 4th layer, right? But as I said earlier, there you go, see? You delete that 4th layer. As I said earlier, if you do this, VIA will still assume there are 4 layers and populate that 4th layer with garbage. What you want to do is create another file called config.h. And in config.h, what you want to do is tell VIA, or tell QMK, that this board literally only has 3 layers. And the way you do that is do a #define dynamic keymap layer count, like so. Set it to 3. And once you do that, it will compile it as if there were only 3 layers ever possible. VIA will look at this board and be like, oh, there's only 3 layers. I will only let users program up to 3 layers. And that's it. That's it. One other thing that you want to pay attention to is the config.h file, not in the VIA keymap, but in the keyboard's main directory. This thing right here. You want to pay especially close attention to the vendor ID and product ID. When you plug a keyboard into VIA, VIA will determine what kind of keyboard it is based on these 2 values, vendor ID and product ID. So these have to be unique across QMK, and there's also like a legal ramification to this. You have to make sure that the USB Federation or something does not have anyone else registering these 2 values. You know, so usually I go to like USB vendor ID product lookup, and I put in these 2 values, and if nothing comes up, I should be good. If you are a vendor and you want to have your own vendor ID, product ID that's exclusive to yourself, you need to cough up $5,000. Yeah, $5,000, and you will have your own vendor ID and product ID. So if you are a vendor that's just getting started, good luck. Yeah. So in this case, 5053, I am pretty sure that Percent Studios hasn't coughed up $5,000 to give to the USB group or so. we are just hoping that, you know, these values will not be taken in the future by a legitimate source. What I expect to happen is if some vendor comes around and is like, okay, I want vendor ID 5053, and one of my products is going to be 422D, and they actually pay for it, what's going to happen is we might get pinged to just to change this. That's it. Javon says you need a vendor ID. You're a baller. I think, okay, so I'm not going to be 100% sure about this, but I think the only people who do is probably Drop. I think Drop is the only one who's got a vendor ID and product ID that's exclusives to themselves. Woodpack says, evening Merlin, how are you doing? I am doing great. All right. All right. Okay. So as I said earlier, even with all of these changes, I am unable to build because there is a bug in QMK right now. So as you can see, it seems to be tied to USB drv.h, no such file or directory. We'll have to look into that at some point in the future. But for now, I do suspect it's coming from one of these two changes. But moving on, we will now talk about the VIA side of things. Let's see, give me a moment just to set all of this up. And I will say it again, if you guys have any questions about the process, whatever I'm doing right now, or just about keyboards in general, feel free to pipe up. See what Pack says, do you know how to take apart a beam spring switch? Very carefully. Here we go. So for the next part of the show, I'll be doing the VIA portion of the coding, and all of this information can actually be found on caniusevia.com, which I've linked in chat. And basically just go to docs, and it's going to tell you how to make the VIA JSON file right here. This is the required properties of that JSON file. As you can see, this has a name property, vendor and product ID, like what I was talking about earlier. Does the board have lighting? What matrix does the board have? Its layout, so forth and so on. So you want to make sure that this JSON file that the VIA app needs has all of these properties. We are going to start with creating the layout, this portion. And to do that, you need to open up Keyboard Layout Editor. Here we go. So just to give you a quick overview, let's say you want to make your keyboard layout editor match the actual physical keyboard as closely as possible. So as you can see, this guy right here, its navigation cluster is lower than normal. And I can't actually remember if I've got blockers. Let me check real quick. I've got blockers, so we will have blockers. All right, we will edit. Let's go edit this really quick. Let's take out one of them. So one U right there, one U right there. That's a 7U. 1.5, and 1.5. There we go. And just to look at the Skog Lite again, does this actually talk about what the layouts are? Let's see if I can find more information. It's Skog Lite Geek Hack. There we go. Oh, interesting. It was also run by json. No, wait, this is the Skog %. We just want a regular Skog Lite. Skog Lite Geek Hack. There we go. Percent Skog Lite on Z Frontier. What information do you have for me, Z Frontier? Do you have any information on the layouts? Please tell me you have information on layouts. Okay, those are all still blockered layouts. Sangan. Oh, there we go. That's a regular one. Okay, so it does support regular. Awesome. Hitman Choi, thanks for joining in. With that said, let's actually undo all the changes I just did. We will start with the basic vanilla TKL layout, which is 1.25U all around and a 6.25U spacebar. That's great. As you guys can see, actually, let me zoom in a bit. You will notice that all of these keys have numbers in them. Two sets of numbers actually, separated by a comma. The first number represents the row number, and the second number represents the column number. What do we want to do with these? You want to go back to your QMK firmware and look for, in this case, the skog_lite.h. What you want to pay attention to is the layout macro. The layout macros are basically all of these giant arrays that are prepended with all caps layout followed by a lowercase description like TKL ANSI. You want to pay attention to stuff like this. And in particular, you only want to pay attention to the top half, known as the physical layout. So this layout that you're seeing right here is most closely associated with TKL ANSI. So this is the one. This is exactly the one that you want to pay attention to. Nine Walker says, hello Merlin, hello to you too. And guess what? I just finished the entire can. That was really quick. That might be the fastest that I've finished a drink on stream. Let's see, that's 30 minutes in. Shoots. Okay, maybe I will grab another one in just a bit. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's continue with this. As I was saying, you want to tie all of these numbers along with these. So for example, this very top row here, you can see all of these have their own sets of numbers, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. You basically just want to transcribe this over to KLE. So let's get started, right? Well, join me as I count from 1 through 15 5 times. Yeah, see, this one goes all the way till 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then it goes to 6C. So we can all go to 14 just fine here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 'll just make this smaller so I can see the whole thing. There we go. 13, 14, and this last one is K6C, so that's 612. 612. Yeah. Basically, you just counting, making sure that they all match. The next row goes from, oh, that's odd. See, it goes K10, then 1E. Tricky, tricky. Let's see, 1E. What is 1E? What's E? E is 14. 114. Then it goes 1 1. That is so weird. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hitman Choi, if you are still on, you'll be proud of me, because I've been watching more Korean dramas. This one is 6B is what? 611? And 6A is 610. Wait, I feel like I screwed something up here. See, 1 0, 1 E, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 1 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoa. Hold on. Let me do some counting really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I screwed up. Hitman says don't watch that. Oh my gosh. I thought you'd be proud of me. There's 17 there, right? So there should be 17 here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Where did I go wrong here? Why can't I count properly? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, I screwed up. See that? So tricky. 1 4 then 1D. Oh my gosh. Oh, Hitman, I'm actually watching the show on Netflix. It's called Rugal. It's based on a manga that I used to read, which is why I'm watching it. Okay, here we go. This is the Bane. This is why I screwed up. So after 1 4, it's actually 1D, which is 13. That is why. Holy crap. Why is this matrix so messed up? Well, I guess it's not called a manga if it's in Korean, right? I think it's manhwa. Just like in Mandarin. Manhwa. 611 and 610. There we go. Okay. That tripped me up, man. That tripped me up. Okay. Now I know. It's probably going to be the same case amongst the other rows. Yep. Yep. So confusing. Okay. Just so I don't screw this up any further, we are just going to pre-populate these. That's a 214, 314, 314, 414, and 514. Okay, there we go. Let's not screw that up. Or these days we call it webcomics. Yes, I've seen that term used a lot. Since most of them never actually get printed. That is true. Okay, let's see, 20. All that looks right. Let's continue to 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Then it jumps to 14. Yep. So odd. Why would you make your switch matrix like this? Surprised I'm not using Vim. I'm an Emacs user actually. Oops, why did I do that? 4, 214. So everything else 314, 414. Okay. 414. 5, 1, 5, 4. I'm just jumping all over the place here so I can get this done. 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 11. Five, 12. Wow, this is such a messed up matrix. Look, that very last key is 6, 7. Why would you do this to yourself? All right, let's continue with that 214 row now that we've got that done. It goes 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 5. Yeah, this takes a lot longer than just the firmware portion because of all the counting that you have to do, and if you screw up because it's a messed up matrix, well, good luck. Let's see, 6, 9, 6, 8. All right. All right, 3, 14, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. That makes sense. And finally, this last row, 7, 8. Okay, it's odd. Terminates at 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 4B is 411. and 412. There we go. So we have the base layout done right here. Shouldn't Q row be 15? Q row be 15. I don't know what you're talking about here. All right. Okay. So what we've done here right now, as in 215, really Q row, so that would be 2E. E is A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, it's 14. You were off by 1. Okay. So let's see, let's get the coloring correct. So with VIA, you want to color all your modifiers a certain way. And the way that it's done is to GMK Olivia. Just because one of the developers of VIA, actually the main developer of VIA is Olivia, which is why it's called Olivia. So I always have to look at the base kit right here. Let's see, Lite base kit. So I can see how it's changed up. So it's F5 to F8. That's the one that's changed. We want this, let's call that. There are two 214s, are there? Ah, I see what you mean. Uh-oh. A, B, C, D, E. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's not 14, it's 13. Thanks. Good catch. There we go. We good now? Okay. The entire nav cluster and the arrow keys are also all mod colored. Make sure you set that correct. There we go. Perfect. K Corgibot said, so K1D would be 213? No, K1D would be K113. Alright, okay. So we have the base layout for this board, but we also want to make sure that we support all of the other potential layouts. So the way to do that is using groups and option numbers. Here, let's go edit this a bit. We have all the information in QMK already. We just want to set up a few things here. So Wilbur states that basically when you organize all your groups, you want to do it like reading English. Top to bottom, left to right. So the first group that we want to look at is actually the backspace group right here. Actually, hold on, let me just verify that that's actually a real thing. I really wish he would give options there. Oh, actually, check it out. Check it out, guys. I just looked at the PCB. There is no split backspace. That is just one position for backspace. I don't need to worry about that. Perfect. that means the first actual group is going to be this enter key right here. Oh yeah, speaking of enter key, we also want to add accents. There we go. Okay. We are gonna label this. So the way to denote groups and option numbers is actually by putting it in the bottom rightmost legend category, which is this one over here. We'll label the base layout as group 0, option 0. Everything on the base layout will be option 0. Like the only thing that changes is the group. Since this is the first group, it's group 0. This one is part of the same group, so it is still group 0, but it is option 1, like so. We now need to figure out what key is what. This makes it more difficult. And this is actually where we need a multimeter. Well, let's pull out the multimeter really quick. Come on. I think it is 11. The key is 11, but we won't know for sure. Let's just... do it. Right, that I'm gonna have to pull up the @mega32a pin out or to figure out what that pin was. That was pin A4, which according to our code, pin A4 is actually a column pin. That's 11. Okay, perfect. That is exactly what I thought it would be. Column 11, but what is the row? The row is... the row is 1, 2, 3. Only I had a better picture of this pinout. Let's try it. Come on. I think it's... Wow, why is that so difficult to read? Holy crap. If you're gonna publish documentation, at least make it legible, right? It's way too blurry to read, but it looks like it's a B0. I can't read it. Holy crap, here, this is what I'm looking at, guys. That is too blurry. It's this pin right here. Pin 42. So I guess I could cross-reference that to something like this. Pin 42. Come on. Here, let's try this one. There we go. Pin 42 is not labeled. Great. There. Go. 42 is ARAF. That is not right. Here, let me count that again. This most definitely pin 42. Oh wait, I'm looking at a completely wrong microcontroller. I want 32A. That's probably why. At Mega 32, pin 42. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Wow, this is really annoying, guys. It's too blurry to read. So 496 by 531. Hold on, let's see. I swear I have a much better photo of this. Shoots, I've only got one for an Atmega 32U4, but not a 32A. Ah, shoots. Not fun. Okay, let's keep searching. Can anyone in the audience give me a hand here? I'm trying to look for a data sheet for an Atmega 32A that is not blurry, because the best I've been able to find is this piece of crap at 496 by 531, and I can't read what pin 42 is over there. Let's see if this one's any help. Nope, that's not any help either. Adjust my Google search to do pin space out. There we go. Oh wait, what was that? Thought I saw something there. Here, let's try this guy. See, there are 43 people watching. Can anyone help me do a Google search of an atmega32A pinout diagram that's not really small, so I can actually read what it says. Shoot, it's at 32U4. Here, let's try this. Hopefully they have a 32A right there. Powers of Dirt, ping me on Discord, actually. I don't allow link posting on my channel, especially when I'm streaming, just because I see, because like occasionally people post inappropriate content. I'm trying to stay clear of all that. Right now, to me, it looks like either a D0 or a B0. Can't really tell. Okay, I found it. It looks like it's a B2. I think it's... I see it now, B2. That still doesn't make sense to me though. Ah, okay. Oh, there we go. Baldy Bully says 42 PB2. Okay, it's B2. Okay. If it's B2, that should... It's 211. Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. You guys? So what happens is this is going to be 211. Right there, based on what I'm seeing. Code right there. Say 211. Because it's going to take the place of the pipe symbol. Then the enter key. The enter key is another one that we need to find. Here, let's probe at that a bit. Typically it's the same. Yes, perfect. It is the same as the ANSI enter, so that's 310. Perfect, okay. Great. All right, with that, I can actually put away my multimeter. Should not, actually no, I'm just gonna hold on to it just in case, because you never know with these things, right? You never really know. Okay, the next thing we want to do is find the second group. The second group is going to be this left shift right here. It looks like it is supported, definitely supported on the PCB. So we want this to be 1.25 and 1. Like so. As I said earlier, this is our second group. So let's do 1, 0. So again, the base layout has option 0. And the option we can set to option 1, like so. So we want to figure this all out again. Which key is what? Okay, that guy is a 4 and 0. And this key is going to be... But he's going to be someone weird again. Ugh. Okay, at least he's in the same row. So that would still be 4, comma. The column would be, what's the column here? Column is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Fourth one down. A7, which would be 9. It's so strange. There we go, 4, 9. All right. Which makes sense why it skipped to 11 right away over here. So now here's the next thing. You would assume that the next group would be split right shift. But if you look at the PCB, there is no split right shift option. It is just a single position for right shift. So after that, the only thing left is really the bottom row. Okay. The way I like to handle the bottom row, basically just copy, paste. This is going to be option, or group 2 actually. Group 2, and since it is the base layout, option 0, like so. Now we have to figure out all the potential bottoms. So let's start with Sangan. Let's start with Sangan. The best way to figure this out is actually go to config. U ANSI. Okay, that is exactly what we want right there. So we can literally just do this 50, 5E, 5, 1, 5, 4, 5, 7, 5, 8. Okay, perfect. This is the one that gets deleted. There we go. Now let's adjust that so it looks nice. This guy's 1, 1. 1.5, 1.5, 7, 1.5, 1.5. Perfect. Okay. All right. Next thing up is we want the blockered layout, so we can just copy and paste that once again. Now that we have what we want, like so. And we don't actually want a user of VIA to populate that middle key. So the way to do that is to select both of them and then click on decal on the bottom here, like so. So this guy here is still going to be part of group 2, column option 1. This next thing over here will also be group 2, option 2. There we go. And what we have is a completed keyboard layout editor file, which we will then incorporate into VIA. So before we do that, give me a moment just to get set up here. We'll be operating in a completely different repo right now. All right, here we go. I'm in a completely different repo right now. This is the VIA keyboards repo. As I mentioned earlier, it is run by a separate group of people, mainly Olivia and Wilba. Completely different from the rest of the QMK folks. And you want to pay attention to the source directory right here and make sure that the board that you're putting in has a vendor directory. So as you can see here, % currently has one board in VIA, and that's the Canoe. We are gonna add on to this. Wait, you don't have any sub emotes, says Zujo. Zujo, if you know how to set that up for me, kindly message me on Discord, because I would love to know how to do all of that. All right. Here we go. We are gonna add a new file. Actually, no, not a new file, sorry. As you can see, it's a directory within %. So we're actually gonna add a new directory. I'm gonna call it Skog_Lite. And within Skog Lite, you want to make a new file called Skog_Lite.json. There we go. All right. And just because I am lazy, I like to go back to my previous work, such as the Jane v2, and copy and paste all of that, and then modify it from there. So in this case, let's just remove all those things that don't really matter. Just this one. Let's see. This is the %studios Skog. Actually, we don't want it too long because it's going to butcher up how VIA represents it. So just call it %Skog Lite. Let's see. Vendor ID is 5053. Product ID is 422D. And since this board has both RGB and backlight, actually, hold on, let's go look at, I always have to look through it. See, Drashna says to Google it. I'm incapable of doing Google. Drasha and I have heard that excuse many times. Let's see. Going into docs. And what we want here is actually QMK backlight RGB light if the firmware enables both. Perfect. Let's do that. Perfect. And then matrix rows are 7 and 15. Perfect. Okay. And this is where we can get rid of all that. This is for the TGR Jane. Don't have to pay attention to that. This is where we want to go into our KLE. Don't copy and paste like the raw data, but instead download the JSON. So click here. Open up that file and basically copy and paste that into the key map section right there. The last thing to do is actually to adjust all of your labels. The way this is set up actually is if it is a single entry that's not in an array, this one shows up as a toggle key in VIA. If it shows up like this, the first item in the array turns out to be the label, and the next two are the items in the drop-down menu. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have our first group is actually the enter key. Let's take that out. And then our next group is actually the left shift. So split left shift. And then our next group after that is the bottom row. So you can do standard, Sangan, and WKL. There we go. We should all be done. This should be good. So to make sure that you did this correctly, you can actually test this within VIA itself. So open up VIA. Open up VIA. And right now it is detecting my ID80. For those of you who don't know, the ID80 is actually in VIA. Alright, so what you want to do here is actually to go to your settings tab. Make sure show design is toggled. Because usually if it's toggled off, like by default, you'll only have 3 tabs up here. So make sure that you click that. Go to design, click on load, and load up that file that you just created. And if all went well, you should see kind of what you made in Keyboard Layout Editor. Boom. And check this out. I did screw up. This is what happens if you screw up. Please correct layout. Too many colors. Too many colors? What? What does that mean? Okay. I've never actually encountered that issue before. Yeah, this is another cleanup we can do. 2 raiders from Morven Mad have joined. Thank you, man. Thank you, Morven Mad. So you guys are in the middle of me putting VIA onto a board. Let's see what happens if I add another. What does it mean by too many colors? It can't possibly be right, can it? What the freak here? Let's take a closer look at this. It's supposed to be like that. Ah, yes, that's the reason why. Okay, let's do this again. There we go. I feel like that still doesn't look right. But at least maybe I think what happened was I had one too many colors. So if we actually just set this all to be the same mod color, we should be good. Here, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Let's see. Mervin said, oh man, I got some of my boards up on VIA. I've been having trouble getting mine working. Well, dude, you can watch this stream or any of my previous streams just to see how to get everything up and running. Here. Hopefully I did that correct. Let's get rid of the key maps again. Copy paste. VIA, please work. I'll load up that file. Click open. Shoots. Please correct layout. Too many colors. Okay, I'm missing something here. Absolutely missing something here. You know what? You know what? I am just going to pick one stupid color. Like so. Too many A's. Should only be 6. Oh, holy crap. You guys are right. Here. Then too many colors is not the right error message then. Yeah, just count it right, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. Okay. Okay. There we go. Whew. There we go. There we go. Okay. So yeah, obviously I can't test it right now because there's something broken within QMK. I can't actually compile a bootmapper client board right now. Oh, this is as far as I can get on stream. One thing I did want to do today was to make sure that the trace was still broken. Of course it's still going to be broken because nothing's really changed. Yeah, basically if you pressed enter, you would trigger something on this column as well, and vice versa. Which is why I have not built this board quite yet. Here, see, just to show you guys what I was talking about of why. Here. Oh wait, that was the wrong thing to do. Here we go, here we go. Make %/Skog Lite :via. What's gonna happen is that we are complaining about usb_drv.h. No such file or directory. Drashna, do you guys know about this yet? I think it can be tied to a PR that was done on April 1st, if I'm not mistaken correctly. So I know it's not with my code because when I compile similar boards that are also bootmapper client, such as the TGR Jane, same thing occurs. But anything else, such as, here, let's do the DZ60 via. Works just fine. I have the latest master. There we go. DZ60 works just fine. Alright, so unfortunately that is as far as I can go tonight. I guess this board will be ported completely for another time. 0.9.7 isn't the latest, is it not? Here. Let's pull. There we go, it updated. The only thing that updated was tap hold documentation. Yeah. Sorry, bud. Still broken. Try it yourself. Try and compile the TGR Jane. You'll see. Are you guys able to compile it? The DZ60 will work just fine. It's the TGR Jane that you need to test. It's the bootmapper client boards that are breaking. The ones that are at Mega 32A. Any VIA key map from a bootmapper client board. Any board that's at Mega 32A, which is currently in VIA, such as the Canoe. I've literally told you 3 times, the TGR Jane V2. Let's see what else. The TGR Jane, any of the Win keyless boards, any of the... Some of the Gray Studio boards are in, such as the HB... Actually, no, the HB87 is still not in VIA. Dude, Zark, you need to run it from QMK Firmware's root, and you actually need to target the right path. Here, I'll show you on screen. Let's see. Make TGR directory, right? I think it's called Jane : VIA. There you go, see? No such file or directory. The same issue we were seeing earlier. Oh, interesting. I'm on 09.32. Here, let's do a make all clean. No, I am not out of date. Pretty sure it's not. Yeah, I am on 0.9.32. Did I run make git submodule? Let's try that. Actually, hold on. Let's try the QMK doctor command. There you go. See, QMK doctor says ready to go. Now let's do make git submodule. All right. Let's get rid of that TGR file. Or I guess it's already gone. Perfect. Okay, let's do make TGR Jane : VIA. Yep, it's still failing. Oh well. Here, let's do this. Let us do this. You're on 5.4. You're 8.4. Let's see. Ah, it says my AVR GCC version is 7.5.0. Alright, let's see if I can update that really quick. Actually, updating that is gonna take like 20 minutes. Let's try that. That may be why. Let's just update everything here really quick. Oh, there we go. Okay. Got it working. There is something with my branch that is not up to date. Let's try that again. Let's go back in there. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but everything works now. Okay. That is good news because now I can actually flash this board. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Let's see. How do I reset this board? Hold down the key located at K05, commonly programmed as F5 while plugging in the board. Okay, let's do that. Let us do that. F5, 2, 3, 4, 5 while plugging in the board. And because since this is a boot mapper client board, I'm gonna have to pull out another USB mini B cable. Sigh. All right, here we go. Hopefully I did this right. Holding down the F5 key. All right. Don't know if that's a good sign or not, but let's flash it. Flash. Bootloader not found. Try again. All right. And I just realized I'm actually doing it upside down. Let's try that again. It's actually this key, not that key. probably help if I held down the correct key, right? Okay, that's a good sign. So it didn't turn on. Oh. Okay. Come on. My autofocus is going nuts right now. Right, it is flashing. Board has been flashed. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. Let's get VIA working here. Alright, so we have that file loaded up, and this is currently looking at my ID80. But if I plug this in, I should be able to have an arrow key over here that will allow me to switch over to this board if I did this correctly. We'll see. Plugged it in, and there is indeed an arrow key. Whew! Yay, it worked. Hooray! Look, and since we lowered the layers from 4 till 3, it's only showing 0, 1, and 2. Perfect. This is the way I like it. Okay. As you can see, there are only 2 RGB LEDs. We should still be able to control that. Let's change it to blue. Perfect. Yellow. Red. Green. Excellent. Very good. Am I able to change the effect? Let's do breathing. There we go. Breathing. Let's do Knight Rider, as if that will do anything. Go Knight Rider. What's another one? Let's do Snake. Let's do Snake. That's obnoxious. Let's just do breathing. Breathing 2. There we go. Perfect. So now with that, there is now support for the Skog Lite. And as I said earlier, I'm really hoping, I am absolutely hoping that something might have changed on this board and that I can actually build it. Let's do a key tester right there. Key tester. Okay? So, what happened last time was that when I triggered the enter key, I would trigger something on the navigation cluster as well. So let's trigger this enter key. Oh, look, enter's working. Whew. All right, let's try the shift key. Let's try the shift key. Ah, look at that. You can see that right shift and up arrow. Okay, it's still broken. Let's trigger right control. Oh, right control seems to be working actually. Not bad. Okay. Let's try the pipe symbol. Okay, pipe symbol and delete key are being triggered. Let's try backspace. Backspace and insert. Oh my god. Okay. You know, to be fair, as you guys know, I don't really use TKLs. The biggest board that I go for is usually a 75%. So I could actually program these keys over here to be blank keys. And I could still use the board. That's actually probably what I'll do, just so I can build this board. RMX says, buddy, how goes it here? It goes well. I just ported another board into VIA. This is the Percent Studios Skog Lite. But as you can see, it's still exhibiting the very same issues that I had when I first got the board. Let's try the F12 key. Okay, it looks like F12 isn't triggering anything. So it's really only the backspace, the pipe, and the right shift. So the only drawback is I'm probably not going to be able to use this key. But I also don't use right shift, right? I never ever use right shift. So that's fine. Okay, it's fine. There we go. That's a solution. I can still build this board. It just won't be 100% working. But I have a workaround. Hooray. Okay. Maybe I will build this board. So I don't know what switches I'll put in. Maybe I'll put in Cherry MX Red. The best gaming switch. Alright, okay, that is very good to know that this board works. Do you have an idea what's causing all of these issues? I've tried reflowing some diodes. I've tried cleaning up the board a bit more, especially around the microcontroller pins. My best guess, with my limited PCB knowledge, is that it is an internal trace issue inside the PCB itself. It's not something I can actually fix. I could try scraping some of the traces here, but I still wouldn't know for sure. The reason why I think it's like that is because this was a very prominent problem with all of Percent Studios Canoe PCBs. From the way this board is made, it is very similar to Canoe, so it's probably the same designer and the same manufacturer, probably the same crap results. There we go. So yeah, this is definitely not going to be a board that's going to be like usable every day, but at least it's usable for now. Thornkin says, makes sense, thanks for your knowledge. Yeah, keep in mind all of that is just conjecture. Nothing 100% proven. But at least I have a workaround for this board. Once again, I'll show you guys. That is what happens when I trigger everything on the left. Insert, delete, and up arrow. Whew. Maybe I'll just put like switch blockers there. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Out of curiosity, how many people who are currently watching right now have a Skog Lite or a Percent Studios board of any type? As far as I know, let's see, how many Percent Studio boards are there? I know they've got the Booster, the Canoe, the Skog, and the Skog Lite. Does anyone on stream have any of those boards? I am quite curious to hear what you guys make of it. Thornkin says, I thought the Canoe looked amazing, but I was worried about quality, so never got one. Very good call. A lot of people who currently have Canoes have dead Canoes. But there are quite a few third-party PCBs out there that seem to work much better than the original. Unfortunately, if Percent doesn't like it when people make third-party PCBs, he gets very unhappy actually. But at the same time, he also doesn't provide replacement, so it's kind of like, which way should you go? One might say they're up a creek without a paddle. For sure. Yeah, well, let's see. Now that I have a solution for this board, I'll probably build this not this coming Saturday because I've got another customer build, but maybe the next. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Alright guys, my next stream will be this coming Thursday. I'll be just doing keyboard chores, preparing for this Saturday's build, and or playing Switch games. We'll see whatever I feel like on Thursday evening. Alright guys, for those of you watching this on YouTube, all links that I talked about will be provided in the description down below, along with timestamps, so you guys can skip through all of my mistakes and get to the real nitty-gritty parts. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thank you 41 viewers, everyone who subscribed, everyone who followed. Without you, this channel would not be possible. So thank you. Let's see. It is the month of July. We have not done any giveaways this month quite yet, but we will do them. I have a new set of giveaways. Stay tuned. We tend to do them at the end of the month. Alright guys, have a good rest of your week. Stay safe, wash your hands, and buy more keyboards. Goodbye guys.